So we were able to convince them, but it was a tough call. It's very easy to say that, man, we are letting go of these 10 customers who want this product and we're not able to service them, let's go to them. But then you'll be constantly chasing rabbits, right? And that's not necessarily going to be good for you. Hi, my name is Anuj Kacker. I'm the co-founder and CEO of MoneyTap. Welcome to Backstage with Millionaires. Today I'll be talking about my entrepreneurial journey and how we're building MoneyTap. There was a little bit of an entrepreneurial streak from college onwards. You know, I did my mathematics from St. Xavier's in Bombay. And at that point of time, I think every time there was the summer vacation break, so I wasn't going back home. I would figure out something. I did a job at a newspaper. I became a journalist for 3 months. I stayed in somebody else's house. So I did all of that. And in the second year of that, we decided to form a company, an event management company. You know, we did all the shebang around it, obviously not realizing that it takes more than that to just form a company. And our entire thing was that at that time college festivals were very big for us, and they still are, but for us, and we had done a few of them already. So our pitch was that we'll go to clients and help them do good deals with these college festivals and get them the right amount of publicity. So we did that for that 1 year. We did it across 3 or 4 college festivals, and then I think then the year after, everybody's priorities changed. He was doing something else. I had to prepare for some examination. So it sort of fizzled out. So, but yeah, it started from there, and after that, surprisingly, I joined the advertising agency after doing mathematics, which was probably now I think it's a great choice now. At that point of time, everybody looked at me and said, what the hell? So, and I joined a small unit within a large company called the Design Cell, it had just been formed 6-8 months before. It was a graphic design unit. They were doing logos and corporate identity within the advertising agency. So it was a startup within the company. So I joined them as their servicing guy, and then I worked in advertising for about 5 years. Then I went to do my business school in ISB in Hyderabad. And while you're on campus, essentially, right, you've done 5 years of work and you meet so many people, you have different ideas. And at that point of time, you know, a lot of people were doing some stuff in India, and you were like, man, I should do something as well. So I remember on campus, 4 or 5 of us got together and we participated in business school competitions. And at that time, we were doing it for the fun of it and like, figure out what does it take. And it so happened that we just ended up becoming the top 2 people in that competition, right? We used to spend the entire night working on the plan, putting stuff together. We used to meet at around 12 o'clock and then work till 5-6 o'clock in the morning, then sleep for 2 hours, go for classes and do that. And we thought it'll just be a simple competition. We'll take some experience and move off. But one thing led to the other. We kept getting selected. We kept getting shortlisted. And by the end of it, the company that we were doing this for ended up making an offer to us to come and join them and run this idea. We were 5 of us. It didn't work out. We got separate jobs, and so there was that bug was still there somewhere at the back of your mind, right? You want to do something. Then I worked in telecom for about 5 years. So I did my rounds. I wanted to have experience in sales, distribution, marketing, product, offline, online. So Airtel gave me that. I worked with Airtel, Bharti Airtel. So amazing years there. And then in 2012 thereabouts, I realized that hey, you know, and that if you remember, 2011-12 was when the mobile internet was just breaking out. Flipkart and all these guys had been there for about 3-4 years. InMobi had been there for 3-4 years. But that is the time, 11-12, when mobile internet was also taking off. And there were lots of ideas that were happening. And I was thinking to myself, man, you know, if I don't do it now, then when do I do it? So, but I had no idea what to do. So Kunal, my co-founder in MoneyTap, he's also from ISB. So he had passed out in 1 year after me in 2009. And he has been an entrepreneur since then. So we met for a coffee and he told me his problem. So let's prioritize it, right? Because rather than, you know, we should figure out how we can productize this to scale it up. And then we went and raised a small angel round, and in 2013, I quit Airtel, and Kunal and I started our first company. So which was the official launch of my entrepreneurial journey, so to speak. And it was hard to do that because, you know, you were letting go of a well-paying job. Airtel's a great company, you're making some decent money. I had a 1-year-old, 2-year-old kid by then. So, financially it didn't make sense to you to do this, but I said, I think I was touching 30, 32 and thereabouts, and said, I am already late, I felt. I should have done this 5 years back when I passed out of business school, but our office was here in Sarjapur. A friend of mine used to own a hotel, still does. So we requested him to give us one of his rooms, and we converted that into an office space. So we took the beds out and threw it and put an office space there. So, but we didn't see a big, or at least our approach at that point of time, we were not able to make a big deal out of it. We were not able to see that how could we make it into a $1 million, billion-dollar business. So some of those things were not clear at that point of time. 2015 was a time when there was funding was not okay, it was drying up. So there was the days where we were raising our funds for the next round, and that's where we met Bala. So Bala is our third co-founder, and Bala is an ex-VC in Prime Ventures. So before being an entrepreneur with MoneyTap, he's also a serial entrepreneur, and he was a VC. So we had met him before. We had pitched our idea to him a long time back. So we met with Bala, and Bala said that he's working of an idea in the lending space, and Kunal and I said we are looking to scale our current business up, but we don't see a path. And so we three of us again discussed, is there a possibility of doing something together? And it turns out that lending is a very, very, very large business. It's a very, very untapped business. I mean, the need for credit in India is very high. I remember as we were making our thesis and around this, we used to stand outside offices and malls, and one-on-one, we used to walk up to people and ask them, what do you think about personal loans? What do you think about credit cards? Have you ever taken one? And we did that initial research, and then we launched the company in 2015. And even when we launched the company in 2015, it took us a year to build the product. So we launched officially, the market launch was in 2016, 1 year later. And in that 1 year also, we met about 1,000 odd customers. So we used to go to our friends and families, their offices. Take a board or take some marketing material, stand on their, in the canteen area, and then walk up to them and say, hey, I have a new concept, can you please go through it? It's called MoneyTap. We ended up, building the product based on what feedback we got from across. We went to bus stands, we went to big corporates, we went to mid-sized corporates, we went to startups, we went to government offices. And we got a lot of feedback on how the product can be and what the product is, and that's what allowed us to build this entire product out. And we were literally about 3-4 of us, right? The 3 founders, and then we had 2 or 3 people join us at very early stage, and they were helping us build this product out. We had 1 tech person at that point of time, and then we instituted an agency to develop the product and give us screenshots, because we needed something to show people, right? In lending, for example, what we did need was a lending partner. In our business, the supply is money, so you need a bank, right? So I remember we were constantly in Bombay trying to pitch our product to all the banks. That was very, very challenging, right? When you met so many bankers and people from the world in Mumbai, and they were like, who are you, right? Why should we listen to you? And why is it that what you are suggesting is better than what I already have? And A, you have to first get their trust, and B, you have to work with them, right? You have to work with their internal tech systems, their risk people, their policy, their compliance, their marketing, everybody. So that was very, very challenging, right? And it's non-trivial working with a partner, whether it's a bank or if you were an e-commerce company working with something else, if you're a food delivery company, anybody, it doesn't make a difference. But you need to work with any kind of partner. It's having very deep relationships from top to bottom are very, very important, and that's what we inculcated, that's what we built. And till date, our launch partner, RBL Bank, we have great relationships with them because we spent time and they were very receptive to what we were trying to do, and they were also excited about some of the things that we were trying to do. So it was a great partnership, to be honest. And I think those are some things we take for granted, and that challenge was important for us at the start. And I remember that I think we put our app on the Play Store in July. But before that, we did a lot of testing also. We launched another product, another app in some other name, just to see consumer reaction, right? So we said we just put a very basic app out just to get some feedback from people. We put a website up, we put an app out. Let's see what customers tell us. So we got a lot of insights from there before we could launch the final MoneyTap product. So we had to do all of that because we had no idea. We were launching a new product. So MoneyTap is a credit line, right? It's not a personal loan. It's not a credit card. It's rolled into one. It's called a credit line. So you can get approved for say 1 lakh rupees, but it's a line of credit that's available to you 24/7. You can take out 3,000 from that, 5,000 from that. So it's a new product altogether, right? So how do you explain to the customers that it's a new product? So our early days when we went out to the market, people were like, okay, so you are a credit card. So how are you better than the credit card I already have? Okay, no, we're not a credit card. Okay, you're a personal loan, but I can get a personal loan at 11% from my bank. I've been banking with them for 15 years. They'll give it to me at very good interest rates. You are not giving it to me that. So how are you better? Okay, we're not just a personal loan. What are you then? So we are like this, but I've never heard of this concept. Yes, that's why it's new. So you go through that cycle, and I think that toughens you up and that helps you sharpen your go-to market and your pitch as well, and that feedback is very important. But those are some of the challenges that we did face in the initial days, right? Then we had to quickly define what our product market fit was, right? So we had investors obviously, and in our board meetings the discussion was, when will we hit product market fit? So first of all, we had to go and define that, right? Without that, there's no point going and hiring hundreds of people and spending money on marketing and doing sales and partnerships. You have to first figure out whether that product is going to work or not. So you have to define what product market fit means, and then I think a lot of people don't do that. You have to put clear markers, and both quantitatively and qualitatively. Quantitatively, I need to hit these XYZ numbers, and qualitatively, these customers, they should think this way. This should be the behavior of the product. So you define some of those things, and it's not so straightforward because that definition will come over a period of time. You can look back and say that yeah, it was very clear, but you have to uncover this. And so we work towards that, and then we press the pedal on scaling of the business. So in our business, it's completely digital, right? So we have to do digital marketing. So we didn't hire a lot of people initially. We said we are a very lean team. Overall in the company, we are today 85 people. So we are a pretty lean team because we believe that we can use product to solve the problem. We don't have like a call center or, we don't think from a point of view of putting bodies first to the problem. So I think we got some amazing people who stayed with us from day one. And they continue to be our cheerleaders outside office, and they continue to be pillars of strength for us in the company, and we continue to hire. So, and hiring is constantly a challenge, right? Any startup will tell you that hiring is a constant problem. People to keep doing that. So I think those were some of the challenges for us. So in lending, lending is a very funny business, right? It's like you invite people to your house, and then when you quickly realize that they don't qualify for credit, you tell them please leave the house, right? So you have to attract so many people because downloading an app is free, but not everybody will get credit. They'll get rejected, and maybe that's the way it should be, because if you can't repay, you should not get credit, right? Otherwise, unnecessarily you'll be defaulting. Your name will go on the defaulter list, and we will have losses, and so on and so forth. So I remember that in the initial phases, our Play Store rating, it tanked. And then we realized that we were not managing their expectations properly. So we made quick change inside the product, right? Yes, we will not be able to offer you credit, but let me help you, let me counsel you, let me tell you. So we managed that problem, and now our rating is 4.3, right? So like food delivery, right? The more people order, the more people you'll serve. E-commerce, the more people you get, the more people you'll sell products to. In lending, the more people you get, you have to be wary that, oh man, I got so many people, so if my rejection is going to go up, then I have a problem on my hands. So that continues to be a challenge in lending, and therefore, as you scale the business, initially it's very easy to get a lot of customers, but then if you start approving everybody, like in lending, you can stand outside the door and you'll give 1,000 rupees to people, everybody will take it, right? But then the hard part is to collect from them. So So in the initial years, it's great to like suddenly take a hockey stick growth, and then if you don't keep the quality and your default and your risk metrics under check, quickly that curve will come down and you'll be out of business. So we built on that in the next second phase of our growth. Right after the first year, we realized that that's an important factor. So we built the business around that as well. So now we are growing, but we are growing with very good default rates because we're keeping the eye on the ball as far as growth and risk is concerned. So there needs to be a balance on both sides. We want to always be a part of the customer's life cycle and his journey. We don't want to be a back-end software provider, right? We want the customer to know that he's dealing with us, and so we work very hard for that, right? We are a consumer company, so we will always be on the forefront, and that's not an easy choice to make, right? When I say that's not an easy choice to make, in the sense that we got a lot of people coming and telling us that, why don't you just give us a white label solution, right? But we didn't agree. A lot of people came and told us, customers tell us, right, I don't want a credit line, I want a one-time loan. So we get a lot of customers do that, but we believe that we are able to convince that customer that the credit line is a better product than a one-time term loan, because you can take the money every time and you don't need so much money. You just need small amounts of money. The need is small amounts. The need is not large amount all the time. So we were able to convince them, but it was a tough call. It's very easy to say that, man, we are letting go of these 10 customers who want this product and we're not able to service them. Let's go to them. But then you'll be constantly chasing rabbits, right? And that's not necessarily going to be good for you. Those are some of the challenges that we face of how do you stay true to your vision? How do you stay true to what you believe is the right? And you don't have to drink your own Kool-Aid, so to keep challenging the assumptions. And if the answers come out that this seems to be the right way to go forward, you should try and stick to your guns. And that's what we did. And so far, so good. I think it's working out well for us. So I think we've been here for operational for about 2.5 years, although we incorporate 3.5 years. Touchwood, we're growing pretty fast. We are in about 40 cities in India, and our value proposition is something that sticks very well, which is the line of credit, right? So if you're a customer, if you need just 5,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees, the line of credit comes in handy. If you want money tomorrow, you just open the app, click a few buttons, transfer, swipe the amount you want, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, choose how you want to pay it back, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, or 36 months. And you press the confirmation button and the money shows up in your bank account in real time, 24/7, 5 o'clock in the morning, doesn't make a difference. So the advantage there is that it's literally money on tap. And you're paying interest only on the amount that you used. So if I don't use my line of credit for the next 6 months, I don't pay a penny of interest. So that value proposition has stuck with our customers, is what we believe is one of our biggest achievements, right? It's a new value proposition, and testimony to that is that we just crossed 5 million downloads on Android Play Store. Now we're on iOS, on the web, but just on Android Play Store, which is where we started, we just crossed 5 million downloads, and that's a big, big number for us. The value proposition of a credit line works and continues to work, and we were the first people in the country to launch this. So we call ourselves India's first credit line. And yes, today you see many options there, but 3 years back, there was nobody in the market doing that. So I think that's one of the things that we are very well poised to grow from here. What's coming in the future essentially is that we are looking to how we can expand our product line, how we can expand our customer base, how we can expand our geographic base, and get more and more customers, give them different types of credit lines. And so we'll see where that takes us, but I think what we've set ourselves up for is a great base from where to springboard. That was my journey from my college days to now how we're building MoneyTap. Hope you've picked up a few nuggets along the way, and feel free to share it with some of your friends and family members and people who might be starting on their own journey. And here's the time for the shameless plug. Please go download MoneyTap. See you later.